Hello everyone, and welcome to another pre-game edition of GTHL Hockey in the 6. I'm Jordan Jacklin, joined alongside Jaden Ho as we get you set up for a matchup between the Don Mills Flyers and the Mississauga Rebels. Looking at the goaltender department, let's start off with Daniel Giusti of the Mississauga Rebels.
Well, Daniel Giusti is a really good positional goaltender. He's always going to be squared to the puck, and that's largely in part due to his poise. He's just very calm, very collected in the net. He's always focused on the puck, and he's not going to panic and slide around, scrambling to try and find it. And he's got a really quick glove hand to top it all off. So if he does get a little bit out of position, or if there's good puck movement, he can make those highlight reel, flash the other type of saves.
Looking at the other end of the ice, it's going to be Josh Kim tending the goal. What can you say about him?
Well, Josh Kim is just a really, really good puck tracker. He's great at seeing through screens, and if you're taking a shot from the point, even with bodies in front, it's always going to get to him, and he's always going to hang on to it as well. He's a great rebound control goaltender. If you take a shot on Josh Kim, it's going to stick to him. He's going to swallow up that rebound, and you're not going to get second or third opportunities off a shot on Josh Kim.
And looking at skaters on the Rebels' blue line, Gavin Haslam may be the one that really is defensively responsible and just can control so much when he's on the ice.
Well, Gavin Haslam is a really big-bodied defender. He's willing to throw hits to separate the skater from the puck. And one thing that I've noticed he does really well is hold the puck in the zone at the blue line in the offensive zone. He holds the puck at the line, gets it down into the corner, and he sets up the Rebels' offense for the forecheck and the cycle, which they really excel at. And that's in large part due to Gavin Haslam at the blue line.
And now looking at skaters on the Flyers, we know a lot about Shamar Moses. What about TSherna as a part of their forward core?
Well, TSherna is a forward who's really responsible defensively. He's a good 200-foot player, and he takes care of his own end of the ice first, but he can turn it on in the offensive zone as well. He's a fantastic skater. He gets up through the neutral zone with speed, and he's a great puck handler too. He uses that to create offense for himself and for his line mates.
Well, this is setting up to be a great matchup as we get you set to Iceland for warm-ups.
There it is.
Yes. Hello from Iceland Arena. As you're watching GTHL Hockey in the 6, I'm Jordan Jacklin, alongside Jaden Ho as we get set for the Don Mills Flyers to take off against the Mississauga Rebels. Jaden, what do you have in store for this matchup today?
Well, this should be a really solid matchup. You've got some really talented players on either side. Ethan Chada stands out from the Mississauga Rebels, as does Shamar Moses of the Don Mills Flyers. But both of them are going to have a tall task in front of them because the goaltenders in this game are really, really solid. Daniel Giusti and Abel Polan between the pipes for each team. And you can expect them to make a lot of great saves, and they'll have to against talented players like Chada and Moses.
Now for the Rebels, the X factor here could be their blue line and how they move the puck.
Well, the Rebels, they have a great blue line. They're really good at moving the puck up the ice and getting it ahead to their forwards. And for the Flyers, they're going to need to work to counter that, and that's going to be through a heavy forward check. If you put pressure on those defenders, don't give them enough space to move the puck, you can hem this team in their zone and create offense through the cycle and through your forward check.
And for the Flyers, their forward group is no joke. We obviously mentioned a guy like Shamar Moses, but what about maybe a guy like TSherna, the undersized winger?
Well, TSherna's a really good player. He's willing to go to those dirty areas and get those dirty goals if he has to. And that's going to be important against a good goaltender tonight in order to make sure that these Rebels stay in the game.
And face-off is underway as the Don Mill Flyers win it back on the stick of Harding there as he sends it up into the down low. It's a rebound shot now picked up by Deck. Crossing past the other way there, cutting through the middle is Tissier. Back over to Chada, far side shot, unable to get through. It's Tissier down low over the deck, and he just missed it wide on that attempt. Flyers able to recover though. It's in front of the net for Tissier. It's still loose, and already Poland's being tested.
And what a great play there, picking off that pass behind the goal and taking it into the front of the net. Tissier with a beautiful chance early on, and Abel Poland needed to be really sharp there.
For the Flyers, they have to be more considerate on their own blue line in terms of the defensive end, because that was a problem. And we should add it's actually Josh Kim in the net for the Flyers. One back the other way down. As it turned aside there, shot from Seko. From deep, it's loose in front! Oh, they poke away at it, but somehow Josh Kim keeps it out. All the way at the other end now, here are the Flyers. Trying to send a pass into the middle of the ice. Going after there is Michael Medopoulos. Medopoulos unable to hold the blue line. There's the Flyers. Will be pushed aside. Here's Medopoulos with it over to his partner, PJ Fagan. Stretch pass up the ice now. Trying to find a stick of Surde. Going hard on the board there down low. But he's able to recover. Rebels now on the counter-attack there with a 2-on-1 chance. The other way. Trying to get the shot over the Chata off the post. Kept alive by the Rebels. And it will go the opposite end. As we'll see a line change now for the Flyers. All the way at the other end now. 3-on-2 for Chata. In front of the net for Broussard. Open net. And no one able to tap it home. It's redirected in front and gloved down by Kim.
Well, this is some great puck movement so far from these Mississauga Rebels. They're using passing. They're getting to their open men, and they're finding ways to get pucks towards the goal. They haven't been able to capitalize on one yet, but the pressure that their offense has been putting on this Flyers defense has been tremendous so far.
This Chata line will stay out there for the O-zone draw as it gets sent back into the neutral zone. But it's brought back the other way now by Secco. Trying to drop that over there. Unable to retrieve it there. But it's Maxime Morin in front of the net looking for Deck. But it's poked away by the Flyers. On the counter-attack now past the red line. Being pressured hard there along the boards was Max Anderson. Finding a way for it there, it's Anderson retrieving it. Finding Harding. Jared Harding now. Back over to Anderson. Was poked off it there, trying to get it out. And good work there defensively by Braden Van Gelder of the Rebels. Turning it back now is NZ Show. As I'll drop it off there. Looking for the other player in Pantalone. Bringing it in there is Anderson as he'll work along the boards. Forechecking it after Cal Secco, but he's able to recover, or rather he's forced back. Gavin Haslam now will send a stretch pass up the deck, and it'll be a foot race for it. Delisle there was deemed offside, so had to stop back there in that moment. As they battle for it along the blue line. Regaining possession is the Rebels. With it, there's Turner back over to Secco. Cross-seam pass finds Michael Deck with open ice. Trying to send it through in front of the net. Stopped by Kim. And Josh Kim certainly has come out to play so far.
What a pass there to the front of the net by Deck.
Kept alive by the Flyers as they really look to sustain the offensive zone. Keeping it in play there as it's turned back around, but it's held in at the blue line, but is deemed offside.
Well, as I was saying, just a beautiful pass to the front of the net by Michael Deck. He finds the open man, and that's the puck movement that I've been talking about so far in this game for the Mississauga Rebels. They've been so good at finding their open teammates and getting them open looks on goal, and that's why it's been a pretty Mississauga-dominated game so far.
Trying to win that draw there was Smeaton, but just falling short. Secco now will send it up into the neutral zone as they battle away for it there, and it's won back by the Flyers. Through the neutral zone with speed now as it goes down below the goal line. Turnover generated there by Don Mills. It'll be Haslam there. And nice work once again by Fagan. Trying to send that in front of the net. It's a trickling puck. Trying to get that through. And good work there by Leighton Lynn to get it back up and past the blue line to avoid danger in that sequence. Holding the line now is Gavin Haslam as he looks for options. Sending that up the ice. The turnover, though, the other way, they'll chip away at it and start the line change.
Well, the Rebels have done a really good job of breaking out of their zone so far in this game. The Flyers have been putting on some forechecking pressure, but the Rebels defenders, have done such a great job at coping with that pressure, getting pucks out and up into the neutral zone and starting up on the rush.
Going after it there now is David Deschatelet trying to bring that in front. Unable to get that through now as Delisle will poke away for it and create the turnover. With it now is Maxime Morin. Back over to Delisle. Delisle will try to cycle around looking for options. He'll turnstile it around the net. Delisle will send it back in for Morin. Maxime Morin now. Some nifty work there between the legs to regain possession, but good forechecking pressure there by Don Mills. Kept alive, though, by Morin. Trying to find Deschatelet for the shot. Blocker side stop by Kim. And it's brought back out. Holding the blue line, though, are the Rebels. But Don Mills is able to clear.
Big save there for Kim after a good cycle play and another chance the other way now.
It's a 2-on-1, and the stick lift there is able to stop that play. What an effort there defensively. As we get a line change now for the Flyers as they look to regroup. Here below his own goal line now. Just waiting for chances. Here are the Rebels now on the counter-attack. Tissier with a nice feed there over the deck. It's a 2-on-1 shot stopped by Kim once again.
A beautiful play in the neutral zone there as it was tipped ahead onto the tape and turned into an odd man rush.
Ethan Chada now will go after it, but it's Jared Harding, bringing that all the way up to the other end of the ice. In the neutral zone now, it finds the stick of Kyle Butt. Nice fast there. Trying to get that through the middle of the ice, but disrupting it there is Van Gelder. Oh, kept alive though. It's a shot one-timer, and he fanned on that one. Oh boy, would that have been something had he connected on that.
Well, the puck just bounced a little bit on Jimmy Lombardi in front of the goal there, and it just bounced off of his stick. Otherwise, he had a lot of net to look at and might have made this a 1-0 game.
NC Show brings that into the neutral zone though, but it's turned over by Delisle. Delisle now will go after it down low, gains the inside positioning, waiting for reinforcements. Has Leighton Lynn there with him to help. Back over to Lynn. Lynn will cycle it around now. Trying to use the boards to his advantage, but good work by Don Mills to disrupt the cycle. Park back there. It's a foot battle there, and Don Mills gets to it first. Going after it down low now, and the Rebels will be forced to stop back once again. The Flyers maintain the offensive zone pressure. Brought back around, and they come up with it. Great work here by the Flyers. Trying to get to it now in the corner as they battle away for it. They finally get what they want there, trying to send that back in. It's a far-range shot from Harding, stopped by Juicy.
That was a great sequence from the Flyers. They got in on the forecheck and they developed their cycle, and they eventually got the puck out into the slot and got the shot on goal. They had bodies in front too, probably looking for a tip there. Obviously, they couldn't get one, and Juicy got the save. But those are the kind of plays you're going to need to make in order to get chances off your forecheck and off your cycle.
Max Anderson will take this draw now for the Flyers in the offensive zone. Trying to come away for it now there as they win it back into below the goal line. Coming up with it there for them is Pantalone, bringing it back to the point. Back the other way, though. It's turned over now onto the stick of NZ Show. NZ Show will wrap it around the boards. Out to play it there is Juicy, being careful on there. Nearly retrieving that was Pantalone. NZ Show there will hold the zone there along the boards, but it's brought all the way back to the other end of the ice. Skating with it now, so send a cross-seam pass onto the stick there of Pantalone. Bringing it around the boards there the other way. Brought back to the blue line now. It's a counter-attack for the Rebels, trying to cut through the middle of the ice there, but not allowing that was Justin Fernandez. They'll use the boards to their advantage there as they look to start on the counter-attack themselves are the Flyers. All the way at the other end as they're forced back now with line changes ensuing on both sides. Over the blue line. Trying to send a pass over now as they regain the offensive zone. It's a drop pass with a shot from far distance, and it was disrupted once again by the Rebels, not allowing them to gain the middle of the ice. Down low now, it's a disruption by Don Mills as they'll skate it out. It's a chip pass the other way as they go after it. Trying to find it there was TSherna. But nonetheless, it'll be a line change now for the Rebels. As getting after it there is PJ Fagan. Nearly turning it over to the stick of Peyton Lynn, but it'll be Gavin Haslam retrieving it, sending it over to Cal Secco. All the way at the other end of the ice now will be a foot race the other way as it's chipped out and won back by the Flyers. Kept alive, though, by the Rebels there. And it goes all the way to the other end of the boards, and they keep it alive. Some potential here to get it down low as they try to battle away for it in those one-on-one man attacks. But nonetheless, skating with it now is Butt. Cal Butt will take a shot from distance, but it's gloved down by Juicy.
The Rebels have done a really good job here of keeping the Flyers to the outside. They haven't allowed them to get many chances in the slot, and when they have got chances in the slot, the Rebels have done a great job of getting bodies in the lanes and not letting those pucks get to the net.
Another offensive zone draw, though, for the Flyers. It'll be the Anderson line taking it. Trying to win that back. Good work there to find NZ Show. We'll wrap it around the boards. Back to the stick of NZ Show. We'll find Harding. Harding for a far-range shot just off the blocker of Juicy. Nifty pass there to start the cycle. It's on to the stick of Harding. Another far-range shot just redirected wide. Kept alive, though, by Sarah Glue. Into the corner there as they try to keep it in play, and they do. Some nifty work there by Pantalone as he brings it back. Far-range shot once again by Sarah Glue. As the puck goes down low, now coming up with it the other way. Cycling there once again as there's moving bodies in front of the net. Going after it now is Anderson. Anderson will skate it in and back it round as they battle away for it now in the corner. And the Flyers really getting the most amount of time in the offensive zone of any sequence in this period.
Yeah, they've done such a great job on their cycle and on their forecheck, not allowing the Rebels to get many chances to clear the zone. As, oh, look out here.
It's a fan pass, though, but it went offside, but Ethan Chada unable to recover there. So what do you think of that play there? Ethan Chada thought he could remain it onside, but it ends up going past the blue line.
Flyers looked like they dodged a little bit of a bullet there. Otherwise, if Chada had stayed onside, it would have been an odd man rush, and the Flyers would have been on their heels a little bit. Instead, it's a face-off just outside their own zone.
Well, battling away for it now. It's won by Chada. Turner will send it over to Secco. Trying to dump that through. It'll be a foot race now, won by Deck. Trying to get that in deep. Some good work there along the boards by Charlie Pantalone as the whistle blows the play dead.
It looks like one of the officials is down here. He went down hard after that face-off, and I think that's why the whistle blew. So
on one knee currently. We'll see the Chada line exit the ice now as both officials and the linesman having a conversation with this ref on the knee. You have to hope that'll be okay. And nonetheless, we'll see how this concludes now. Both teams will take this opportunity to talk with their coaching staffs and just regroup as we remain scoreless here with 4:24 to play in the opening frame. He gets back up on his feet now and appears will be okay to finish at least this period and perhaps the game.
Face-off will come in the Flyers zone to the left of Josh Kim.
So the Ethan Chada line will stay out on the ice. A big opportunity here with the offensive zone face-off. Going after it there, but it's won back by Pantalone as the legs of the blue line. Turner now will force it in deep. One back there by Anderson. Anderson will skate it out himself. Max Anderson now will send it back the other way as they try to get it through. Force back, though. It's a 2-on-1 now for the Rebels. Trying to get the shot in. Shada! And it's a glove side stop by Kim. It's still loose and just unable to find that shooting lane in front of the net. Battling away for it there along the boards is Chada. It's a chip pass, though, the other way, and it went up and out cleanly, but there will be no penalty called, I believe, on this sequence.
Puck likely was tipped as it was cleared out over the glass, so another bullet dodge there for Don Mills as the Rebels have come on a little bit in these last couple of minutes.
And now will be the second line for this team, the Tristan Delisle unit, getting some opportunities in the offensive zone. It's Delisle now coming back with it. Will force it back and find the stick of Lynn. Poking away at it, though, are the Flyers there as they're able to force it into the corner. All the way down at the other end now is Haslam. We'll find Secco. Forced back the other way, though, but here are the Flyers now on the counter-attack, trying to get that through to the middle of the ice, but disrupted, and the shot just goes wide on the sprawling attempt by Butt. Puck is played down low now as they cycle with it. And it's sent it in deep, though. It's disrupted by the Rebels once again. Holding the blue line, though, are the Flyers. Really not having much room to work with in this sequence as they try to keep it in play, and it's sent back down to the opposite end of the ice. For checking after it there are the Flyers now with some open space to work with. It's a shot there from an attempt. There's a rebound ensuing in front of the net. Fagan will drop it back trying to get a shot of his own, but it's blocked in front by the Rebels. But a hit, though, keeping the play alive. Great work there by TSherna, and it's gloved down by Juicy.
Well, more heavy forechecking from this Don Mills Flyers team. They make it so difficult for the Rebels to escape their zone. But on the other end, it's so difficult for the Flyers to find any room in that offensive zone when they have the puck. So both teams doing a really great job here in this end of the ice to keep this a scoreless tie.
Winning the face-off in that sequence there are the Rebels as it's a trickling puck going back the other way. Don Mills there having to skate after it. And onto the stick of Harding. We know he likes to play it up himself. It's a bouncing puck, though, there on that sequence for Shorty. Trying to keep it in play there are the Rebels. It was off the stick of Maxi Moran. Just couldn't get that into the offensive zone. I'll get another crack at it. Back the other way now. It's Harding disrupting that rush. Or rather, Sarah Glue. Sarah Glue with the cross-seam pass now. Just unable to hold the line there with Shorty. But nonetheless, they're able to get it through. And it's Adam Smeaton now. Will drive it into the front of the net. He took a shot, far side shot. I thought he had a chance there to maybe bring it into his backhand. But nonetheless, they hold the zone. With it there, Sarah Glue will dump it into the corner. Trying to keep that in play. I'm going to skate back after it, though, is Harding. As they're forced to go into their own zone. Harding now will use the boards, but it's kept alive, though, by the Rebels. Great work by Delisle. Delisle now will go after it himself. Looking for options in front of the net. Here's Tristan Delisle now with some space to work with. Delisle pressured by two Flyers. Will force that into the corner. Michael Deck goes after it. But nonetheless, Don Mills is able to get it up and get the line change.
Well, it's been a pretty even game. Both teams have had their chances on either end. Maybe a bit of a feeling out process in this first period. Neither team wanting to commit too much offensively. Puck stays in the neutral zone a little bit more. So not a ton of action so far, but plenty of chances on either end.
NZ Show now will get into a battle there in the corner, one back by the Rebels. With it there is Mikkel Tissier, setting that in deep. Since a foot race there ensues, and the Flyers are able to clear the zone. With it there's some nifty work on that play by Max Anderson, dropping it back to the blue liner, Leo NZ Shoe. So they get that back in front of the net there, but the Rebels trying to clear the zone on this sequence. It's taken down hard in the play. It's a shot from the middle of the ice, and a penalty will indeed be called.
And that's a break for the Rebels, as they might have been caught flat-footed there, but now it comes down to the other end. It's going to be a power play, as heading to the box is that Flyers player. And with just about under 30 seconds to go in this final frame, this will be a crucial man advantage for the Rebels.
Will be certainly interesting to see how this goes. We see the likes of Curtis Freeman now. And Deschatelet and Maxime Morin getting a shot. With the puck on a stick there. Braden Van Gelder, a wrister there from the blue line just going wide. Kept in play though by Miocic. Puck finds the stick of Delisle now as he'll look for options. Trying to send that into the slot area. Glove down by Van Gelder. Back over to Delisle. Delisle there will have to send it back to Van Gelder. Over to Delisle. Delisle will try to feed that through. Once again, it's a trickling puck as they battle away for it, and that will do it. After 15 minutes, we remain scoreless at Iceland Arena between the Don Mills Flyers and Mississauga Rebels.
And that's a really important final 30 seconds for the Don Mills Flyers. To give up a power play goal in that last 30 seconds would be absolutely backbreaking at this point in the game. Now they can go into the second period, just have a minute and a half left to kill on this power play, and then they can get back to even strength on even terms with these Mississauga Rebels.
So, Jaden, who were players that caught your eye on both sides? Maybe give me one for each team.
Well, Tristan Delisle really stood out for me in that first period. He was really moving the puck well, doing a great job offensively and in the defensive zone as well. PJ Fagan for the Don Mills Flyers also stood out for me, moving the puck from that blue line, getting shots through to the net. So he did a really great job in that first period.
We now see the Flyers already back on at center ice. Well, the Rebels are having a conversation there with the head coach, Adrian Lamonaco, using all the time he can get on that play. And it will be fascinating to see what happens. And just in my eyes, I thought that Ethan Chatelain obviously drew some attention, but really Michael Deck using his speed in the neutral zone there. Some nifty work, especially with his puck handling abilities.
Well, he's a great puck handler, and he's a great player in transition, and you need that in this league to get the puck up through the neutral zone quickly and using your hands and your feet to get that puck up to the neutral zone into the offensive zone or transition is really important offensive skill, and Michael Deck has that in spades.
And we get set here for the second period now between these two sides as we await the ice-breaking goal. One back, though, by the Rebels as they're forced back into their own end. Below the goal line now. I'm looking for options there as they'll skate after it. Looks like it's Ethan Chada now with a burst of speed into the offensive zone. Looking for options in front of the net. He'll send it all the way around. It goes out of play. Good work there by the Flyers, forcing him to the outside, as we know the game-changing abilities he can have in the GTHL. Forced back by the Flyers, though, as they try to come up with it there along the boards. It's Jimmy Lombardi. Chipped back the other way, though, and onto the stick of Mikhail Tissier, who will start up the rush for the Rebels. With it there is the blue liner Gavin Haslam, forcing it up and trying to keep it alive. Cal Secco nearly did, but it was deemed offside.
This is a really good job from this Flyers penalty kill so far. They haven't allowed the Rebels to get set up in their offensive zone at all since the start of this period. They've held them to the neutral zone, they've forced them to dump and chase, and then they've sent it right back down into the Rebel zone once again. So a really good job from the penalty kill so far. Just about as perfect a 20-second window has been so far in this period.
It'll be David TSherna taking this draw for the Rebels outside the blue line. There'll actually be a change there, so now it'll be Maxime Moran subbing in. One back by the Rebels. Forced all the way to the other end there as they slow the play down. With it there is Gavin Haslam. Haslam will look for options once again, trying to find the sprawling player there. With it now on his stick is Matthew Philippone. Philippone will send it in deep. Back there, pressured hard along the boards by TSherna, won by Moran. Miocic now will chip it along the boards, but it's brought back out by the Flyers. It's a 3-on-2. The other way, trying to get that through. Miocic forcing it down, or rather off the stick of Philippone, showcasing his defensive abilities. Brought back out by the Rebels. It's a net drive there, just unable to get the shot through was Moran. But nonetheless, they keep the play down low. Trying to win that battle there is TSherna with the assistance of Tissier. Still poking away that there as the puck trickles down below the goal line and the Flyers are able to recover. Sending the puck up the ice there as it was gloved down by a Rebel to avoid danger in that sequence. And they're able to regain possession. Shot all the way down by Miocic and it's just blocked to the side off the pad of Giusti. Here's Delisle now trying to retrieve that puck, but the Flyers are able to get to it first. Tissier will force it back, and now Jared Harding there will be forced to make a quick decision along the boards and wasn't able to keep it, but he'll be assisted there by his partner, Sarah Glue. All the way at the other end now. It's Van Gelder for the Rebels. Up the boards there, just missing the pass attempt for Michael Deck, so they're forced the other way. Here are the Flyers. Cutting to the middle of the ice now, trying to get the shot through was Adam Smeaton. Smeaton will unable to get that pass to Michael Medopoulos as the play is called offside.
Well, that was a really good start to this second period, for the Don Mills Flyers. They start shorthanded, and they did a great job killing it off. The Rebels really didn't get any quality chances on that power play, and now it remains scoreless for the rest of this second period, and the Flyers get a chance to counterattack with 12 minutes to go.
Medopoulos will send that over to Legna. It's Legna battles away for it along the boards. Kept in, though, by the Rebels now. So they try to send that in front of the net, just missing the stick of Ethan Chada. Cal Secco, though, hold the blue line there. But now the Flyers are able to get it up. Some good work there by Medopoulos. Nonetheless, though, here the Rebels are the other way. A potential breakaway. Sprawling on the ice, there is Chada, keeping it alive, and there will be a penalty called.
And that's a penalty that you just have to take. Ethan Chada might have been in all alone if he wasn't hauled down there. So for the Flyers, they'll have to get back onto the penalty kill, shut this team down again to keep this a scoreless tie. But a really good play there from Ethan Chada, using his speed and strength to get towards the goal and draw the penalty.
This could be the 6 hockey turning point of the game because this is a second power play opportunity. And we'll see whoever scores really gets the advantage here. And let's see if that will be the Rebels. Cal Secco, they're holding the blue line as they'll Send it in down low. Back over to Secco. Secco will find Michael Deck now. Far side shot. Blocked down by Kim. It is Deck once again with it. We'll just send it back to Secco over to Chada. Here is Chada now in front of the net. Just unable to get that through. So Deck will be forced to hold the half board. Now it's Secco now with a chance for a range shot. Stopped by Kim.
Well, this has been a better power play already for the Mississauga Rebels. They're moving the puck around in the offensive zone. They're finding lanes to get the puck to the net. And they're not letting the Don Mills Flyers get their sticks on the puck and clear it out into the neutral zone. So the Flyers, they're going to need to be more aggressive here, get pressure on the puck carrier, and try to force the Rebels out of the offensive zone.
It'll be Chada taking the offensive zone draw on the ice with Mikhail Tissier. And now we'll see. It appears we have a player going down the ice now in Leighton Lynn for the Rebels. And we'll see. We'll update you if he ends up returning in this game or not. But nonetheless, the power play will continue with 11:18 to go in this second period. A ref having a conversation there with the Rebels player as we await the word that the faceoff can go and we can continue this matchup. The other referee enters the ice now. It appears we will be okay, and we're underway once again. Winning it back there now with is Cal Secco. Secco will walk the blue line there as he sends it in deep, trying to find Deck, who's able to recover it there and able to keep it in down low with a nifty move. With it now, the other way is Secco. Here is Secco with a chip pass, trying to find Deck, and the Flyers unable to clear it though. Here is Ethan Chada now, trying to make a nifty move. He does to walk the defender. Back the other way now for Deck. Or rather, it's Deck with it here with the far side shot. Stopped by Kim. It's loose and the net is dislodged. So the play will be blown dead.
What a beautiful cross ice pass there as Michael Deck found that pass and got the shot off. And that was knocked off there, but that was a beautiful chance generated off a perfect cross seam pass. And that's what you're looking for from the power play. Good, crisp puck movement. Make the goaltender move. Make the defenders have to move and move that puck around really well, and you're going to get some great chances like that one there for Michael Deck.
Trying to get that draw there is Chada, but it's won back by the Flyers as they skate away for it, trying to clear the zone, and are unable to do so. Brought back there, far side shot by Secco, just goes wide. Back the other way, it's Secco once again. Far range shot, redirected there, brought back. It's Tissier over to Secco. It's Mikhail Tissier with a shot on net. Rebound! Just falling short, and it clears the zone.
Well, this is the first clear for the Flyers so far in this penalty kill. It's been all Rebels. They've done a great job maintaining puck possession, but they've just got 20 seconds left to score on this man advantage.
Looking to gain the controlled zone entry now are the Flyers. Bringing it back the other end of the ice. Or rather, it's the Rebels, obviously, on the power play. Trying to gain it, and they do. With it, there's Deschatelet onto the stick of Philippone. Brought back into the middle of the ice. It's a trickling puck. There's we're at even strength once again. Chada there unable to regain possession. Far side shot. Glove down by Juicy.
And that's another successful penalty kill for the Don Mills Flyers. And immediately they turn the puck up the ice and they create an offensive opportunity. And that's what they got to do. They need to try and take that penalty kill and use it to generate momentum for the rest of this period because it's been all Rebels so far in this middle frame.
So now back at 5v5, the Flyers get an offensive zone draw. Losing it, though, to the Rebels as it's brought back into the neutral zone now. With it there and creating the turnovers to Chatelet. Trying to drop that back to Delisle, but the Flyers there with a nice rush on the counterattack. It's a 3-on-2. Cutting to the middle of the ice there, but Delisle with some responsible defensive work will allow them to cut in. It's Delisle with it, trying to get it through Kim! And he makes the big save with 9:10 remaining in this second period. With it, there is Van Gelder able to gain the inside positioning as the Rebels start to counterattack. Going after it, there is Curtis Freeman. Freeman will try to wrap it around and look for options in front to Chada. It's a shot, rebound, stopped by Kim. In the neutral zone now, trying to tie up the stick there was Freeman, but they'll be forced back the other way. Max Anderson hounding after it. It'll be Gavin Haslam slowing the play down. as he looks for options in front of him. The cross-seam pass there, attempted breakaway feed for Chada, and he's the first one to retrieve it. Sending it back now the other way on the far side, but it's turned over by the Rebels, so the Flyers on the counter-attack there, hounding after these pucks once again as they begin to change. It'll be Haslam forced back. Sending it over to Chada. Back over to Haslam. Trying to hold the zone. Now there's a turnover there, and had he shot the puck in that opportunity, who knows what could have happened. But nonetheless, it's forced back the other way of the ice as Freeman takes down his man. With it there now, trying to hold the zone there on that play. And the Rebels keep it alive as they hold the zone. With it now there as they battle away for it down low, and the Flyers will be the first to retrieve. Gloving that down there is Shamar Moses. We haven't said his name too much today. Let's see what he can do now. Throwing it at the other end of the ice. Drusty unable to play, and Moses retrieves it. Here is Moses now sending that back over to Fernandez. Here's Justin Fernandez, far range shot. There's a rebound, and Moses just unable to get to it. Moses now back to Fernandez, as Moses will send it down low. With the puck now, trying to bring that in front of the net, trying to get it over to Cal, but and just unable to get that on net. Here's Moses now down low as he's challenged by Turner. And nonetheless, the Rebels are able to clear the zone, forcing this Flyers line to change amidst a tiring shift. He's gained the puck with speed there. Was TSherna, but it's forced back now the other way. Here's DeChatelet on a 2-on-1, just feigning on the shot attempt. But nonetheless, open room in front of the net, and it's dislodged. He's arguing that the goaltender may have actually moved the post himself. And does he have an argument?
Well, Kim did move the net there, and it looked like they might have had some room on that far side to jam it home if Kim had not poked that net loose. So maybe a break here for the Don Mills Flyers once again, as that looked like it might have ended up in the back of the net if it hadn't become dislodged there. So tough luck for these Mississauga Rebels, but it remains a scoreless tie.
It appears Josh Kim has watched some Matt Murray game tape from the game season and knows what he can get away with, especially at a lower level. Nonetheless, play continues now as the Flyers win it back, trying to retrieve it there. Along the boards now are the Rebels, and they do. One back the other way there, but it's kept in down low as DeChatelet battles away for it. Defensively there, it's cleared, but no, it's not. It's actually Maxime Morin now getting to it as it's forced back down low. Trying to find it is Curtis Freeman, being held there along the play, but he's able to come up with it. Michael Deck now trying to feed Morin in front, but now it'll be forced back. Here's a blue line chance there for Van Gelder. Sent down low now to Deck. Here's Michael Deck now back to the point for Secco. Secco nifty work there on the blue line, but it creates the turnover though the other way, and the Flyers now let to gain some speed through the neutral zone. They're able to get it through. With the puck now is Marcus Lagna. They battle away for it down low, being pushed hard there by Secco, and the play will be blown dead.
And it's going to be a penalty here. You see the referee's arm went up as the players were battling for the puck down low. We'll see who's sent off here, but for one team, it's going to be a really great opportunity late in this second period to get onto the scoreboard. So we watch to see. Players appear to be heading back down to the Flyers' end, which implies that it will be a Don Mills penalty, and that it will. So another power play chance for these Mississauga Rebels. 0 for 2 so far. The Flyers have done a great job on the penalty kill.
And as we know, as the saying goes, Jaden, if you don't succeed twice, third time's the charm, and it will be a double minor. So huge opportunity here to break through for the Mississauga Rebels. Chada unable to win that draw, but it's fought back by Tissier down low. With it there is Deck as they'll send it in to Miocic. Finding Deck now, far side shot. There's a rebound in front by Chada. It's still loose, and unable to hold the blue line chance was Secco. He'll be forced to turn around.
Good pressure there from this Rebels power play.
And back the other end of the ice now, here is Tissier. Tissier will send the feed over to Chada, be forced to turn the back around on that sequence. Here's Deck now trying to get that through to Chada in front, and he scores! In front of the net there, it looks like it was poked home by Tristan Delisle, and the Rebels have the icebreaker.
Well, eventually, if you're going to keep taking penalties against a team like the Rebels, it's going to bite you, and that time it did for the Don Mills Flyers. The Rebels have been putting pressure on for this entire second period, and they finally bury one here. Great puck movement there, and then the puck gets into the slot, comes loose, and Tristan Delisle, right place, right time, buries it, and finally, the Rebels have the icebreaker.
4:56 remain in this second period between the Rebels and Don Mill Flyers, with still 2 minutes left on the man advantage. So let's see how the Rebels respond as they look to gain a 2-goal lead. Daniel Giusti out to play the puck there, having to be careful in that sequence as he was challenged by the Flyer. But nonetheless, they avoid danger on that sequence.
Always dangerous when the goaltender steps out of his net to play the puck, and it looked pretty dangerous there as Giusti had a little bit of a puck bounce on him. Doesn't cost the Rebels, though.
And a neat pass attempt there by TSherna, trying to go between his legs and attempt to feed his teammate for the zone entry, but they're forced back the other way. So with it now, it's TSherna once again unable to hold the blue line.
A good response from the Flyers here after that goal, and a huge hit there as getting knocked down looked like Adam Smeaton.
It was actually TSherna getting knocked down for the Rebels.
He just got run over in the neutral zone, and that's a great response from the Don Mills Flyers.
As the whistle will blow, with the shot being gloved down there by Giusti, so the Flyers' penalty kill being executed to perfection so far.
Yeah, and they needed a huge kill for these last 2 minutes of this double minor.
And puck won back by the Rebels cleanly, so they'll try to regroup the other way. Just over a minute left now on the man advantage as they begin to skate up the ice. Handling the puck here is Delisle. Nifty work there to cut in the middle of the ice, trying to send it through. There's a rebound in front, and they score! An incredible goal! Michael Deck taps it home!
And this play all starts with Michael Deck. He picks up his second point of the night. It's only going to be a secondary assist, but this play doesn't happen without his beautiful move. Coming over the blue line, he undresses the defender, gets it to the front of the net, and then with the forwarding pass is Michael Tissier to send it back across to to Tristan Delisle. And that's a beautiful goal.
And remember, this is the secondary power play unit for this Rebels team, and they're showing they can be trusted when the moment matters most.
Absolutely, and that's a really, really costly double minor here for the Don Mills Flyers. They allow 2 goals off of 1 infraction, and all of a sudden they trail by 2 late in the second period, and all the momentum is on the Rebels' end.
Fighting for that puck there is TSherna, and it's won back, so they'll play it up the ice. Past the red line now as they skate after it is TSherna, challenging the Flyers' blue liner, trying to get that through. Regaining possession now is Don Mills as they send a cross-seam pass up the ice. It was chipped in at the red line, so no icing will be called. Sending that back over to the stick of Lagna as sends it back to the blue line, and they start to cycle. Back over to Sarah Glue, trying to get that on net. It's just redirected wide. With it there now, jumping into the rush was Harding, as he's now all the way down low. Trying to send a saucer pass in front of the net there as the turnover is generated by the Rebels. They'll skate it through the neutral zone with speed, trying to get the shot on net. And it's a blocker side stop by Kim. Now going all the way in front of his net there to get the zone exit are the Flyers as they chip it in deep for the line change.
Well, this is a very important final few minutes for the Don Mills Flyers. Momentum obviously on the Rebels' side as they get those 2 power play goals. But for the Flyers, they need to shut it down here. They can't allow another one before the end of this period.
Shot at the deck, and that is held down by Kim.
Important save there for Josh Kim. Those late period goals, so backbreaking. We've been talking about it earlier in this game as well. You can't allow a late goal, especially when you're already down 2. The Flyers need to get out of this period down by 2 or less.
Chada unable to come up with that draw, but holding the zone there was Deck. What a standout period number 28 is having. Kept alive by the Rebels now in the offensive zone. Nonetheless, though, the Flyers able to come away with it, but it's forced back. Having to skate it out of the zone now is Medopoulos, as he's challenged by Chada, and needing assistance there. Trying to send it up the ice with a cross-seam pass, and icing will be called.
Well, that's a pretty tough break. That stretch pass just didn't quite connect. Otherwise, it might have been an odd man rush for the Flyers. Now they're got to go back into their own zone. Final 2 minutes of this second period. And the Rebels will send out Tristan Delisle, who's got a goal already tonight, to try and get this game back. Or try and extend the lead, for these Don Mills Flyers.
Seko will play that in deep for Delisle as he skates after it, trying to gain inside positioning. Flyers are able to come away for it there, but are forced back the other way. Fernandez now will play it up the boards. Just over the stick there, the Flyers forward, and the Rebels set it in once again. On the half wall now, it's played back the other way for Fernandez as they look for options in front. Played back the other way to PJ Fagan as they'll set it up, and it was actually redirected on the net, so Giusti having to make the glove stop.
A minute 20 to go now in this second period, and it's been all Rebels for this entire middle frame. The Flyers have barely had any time in the offensive zone, and that starts with the penalties. They've taken 3 infractions in this second period. One is a double minor, so they spent so much time shorthanded. It's cost them a pair of goals.
But now that we're back at even strength, they have to take advantage of these offensive zone draws. Nonetheless, the Rebels were able to win it there, but they hold the blue line. Forechecking after it now as the Flyers hold the zone, trying to keep the play alive there, but forced back the other way was Saraglu. Sending that over to Harding now as they'll send it in all the way at the other end, and Giusti coming out to play. Keeping it in there was TSherna. It's a sent back there. Shamar Moses, rather, is now on the ice. They've really been able to limit his game so far.
Yeah, they've done a great job at shutting down Moses. Here's a chance.
A trickling shot there as a rebound ensues, but is brought back out now the other way. Shamar Moses will skate after it, holding the line. Far side shot just going wide. Kept in by Saraglu back to Moses. Moses trying to get a shot on goal, but it was redirected in front end, brought back out by the Rebels, as it will be another icing.
Well, the Rebels have just done a great job at keeping Shamar Moses to the outside in this game. He hasn't got many chances to get to the front of the net where it's his bread and butter, and they've done a great job of forcing him wide and forcing him to take lower quality shots than he's used to.
20 seconds remaining in this second period. It'll be an offensive zone draw for Jimmy Lombardi. Unable to come up with it. There's the Rebels. Get it once again, though. Potential 2-on-1 disrupted by PJ Fagan. Fagan with one last rush for the Flyers. Trying to skate it in himself. Metopoulos, they will help him out. Held the line there was Fagan, though. Potential breakaway chance for Deck, but it's turned over the other way, and that will do it. After 30 minutes, the Mississauga Rebels hold the 2-0 lead over the Don Mills Flyers.
And the story of this game so far has to be the Mississauga Rebels defense. They've done such a great job at shutting down this Don Mills Flyers team. They haven't let them get many chances in the slot. They haven't let them have many high danger chances against goaltender Daniel Giusti. And they're a big reason of why. It's a 2-0 lead as we go to the third.
And we saw for the Rebels, it's been their secondary players and Michael Deck and Tristan Delisle really putting up some magic tonight.
Well, they had some really great plays, especially that second goal. A beautiful move to set it up in front of the net, and then that perfect return pass to set up that goal for Michael Deck. And that's just such a beautiful play, and it was such a crucial one, too. Put them up by 2 in this second period as they go to the third.
For Jaden Ho, this is Jordan Jacklin. You're watching GTHL Hockey in the 6th. Stay tuned for the third period. Welcome back to Iceland Arena as we get set for the opening face-off of this third period, with the Mississauga Rebels leading 2-0 over the Don Mills Flyers. And we are underway with the Flyers winning it as they're now into the neutral zone, sending it back to the opposite end. Giusti coming out to play it. Will generate the turnover there. The Flyers already hard on the forecheck there. Unable to find the open shooting lane there, so turning it back was Moses. Here is Moses now, dumping it in deep as it goes down low. Coming up with possession, though, and they do. Here's Kyle Butt now skating after it. Being pressured hard there by Seko. Sent back over to Moses in front of the net. There's a rebound holding the line there with the far range shot, and the Flyers really coming out with passion in this opening sequence of the third period. It's loose in front of the goals that scramble away for it, but the Rebels now are able to get the clear. One-on-one now, it's Michael Deck, or rather Mikhail Tissier, far range shot just going wide in front of the net. Miocic, and what a stop by Josh Kim.
Wow, what a save. Josh Kim sprawling out to make that incredible stop on the rebound. But a great start to this period for the Flyers. Obviously, they give up that opportunity coming back the other way here. But they've come out for the first minute of this third period looking like a desperate team, getting pucks on net, holding the zone really well. And they're looking like they really want to equalize this game quickly in this third.
It appears Tyler Miocic might actually be playing forward in this game, so that's an interesting tidbit. He has the ability to play both the forward and defense position. Turning that over, though, it's Miocic with the shot, and the blocker side stop by Kim once again. Into the neutral zone now. Playing it back there. As it's a bouncing puck, it will be deemed offside, but play continues. Tristan Delisle will pick it up in the corner now and start off the rush. Chipping in there was Miocic, but turned back by the Flyers. Dumped back in again, Juicy being forced to play it. Quick turn of events there. Jared Harding now creating the turnover for the Flyers, trying to get that in front of the net. Hits loose for Harding, just unable to get that through as it goes down low. With it there. Back onto the stick. On the way, it was a shot by Pantalone, just unable to hit the net. Back down with it there, we're really seeing the Flyers sustain the zone. Back the other way now for Fagan. It's a rebound in front, and the Rebels are able to clear. And it's the most action that Juicy's seen all night. It's a 2-on-1 now, though, for the Rebels. Stopped by Kim once again. And the goalies coming up big to begin this third.
Well, huge save from Kim there. His second big one of this third period. But don't discredit the defender there. Coming back and cutting off that passing lane. The Rebels couldn't get the pass across, and so they were forced to shoot. And Josh Kim was able to stay square and make the big stop.
Puck comes all the way down to the other end of the ice, and icing is called.
Well, this is a big opportunity for the Flyers. They've had a good start to this period. You can see their aggressiveness in this so far in this third, and the Rebels have done a good job of taking advantage of it a couple of times, turning it into odd man rushes when the defender pinches for the Don Mills Flyers. So they'll need to be careful, and they'll need to pick their spots to be aggressive in the offensive zone if they want to come back and tie this game.
There's a substitution now. Max Anderson coming off for the Flyers. I'll see another player come in, and it'll now force Marcus Lagna to take the draw. So winning that back, though, now the other way and trying to come up with it there. Unable to hold the line there in the corner, but they poke away at it. Brought back in by Pantalone down low. Trying to send that in. With it now is NZ Show walking the blue line. Far range wrister, glove down by Juicy.
Yeah, that's a good shot. The Flyers trying to get some traffic to the front of the net, get some bodies in the eyes of Daniel Juicy, but he's done a great job at tracking pucks through the traffic here, and he makes that glove save to keep this a 2-goal game.
Taking the face-off now will be Jimmy Lombardi for the Flyers, with the Rebels making a line change of their own. The Ethan Chattel line re-entering the ice. One back by Lombardi. With it there is Fagan, far-range shot. Just unable to get that through in for the net. It's a wraparound chance. And it is Juicy once again coming up big. It's now a 2-on-1 opportunity, rather. Unable to get there was the second forward for the Rebels. But here come the Flyers now with some nifty work here. With it on his stick was Lagna, showing some speed through the neutral zone. It's a far side shot there by Lombardi, just going wide. But holding the blue line there are the Flyers as the whistle blows the play dead.
And we'll see what this whistle was for. It may be a penalty. And it looks like it will be. So a Rebel heading to the box, and it'll be the first power play opportunity for Don Mills. They've had 2 power play goals scored against them, and now their power play will look to get one of those back.
11:44 remain in this final frame of this game, and the biggest opportunity of the night for the Flyers, and it's well earned based on their play in the opening 3:16.
Well, this is just about a must-score power play for the Don Mills Flyers. If you get one here, all of a sudden it's a completely different feel to this hockey game. You're only within one for the rest of this third period. An important kill, on the other hand, for the Rebels.
That is held down by Juicy off the shot from the blue line there. And for the Rebels, they'll just want to try to force it to the outside as much as they can.
And they've done a great job of that so far in this game. Obviously, they haven't faced this Flyers power play yet, but they've done a really solid job at forcing pucks to the outside as there's a long shot that went wide. But they've done a great job of keeping the Flyers to the outside and to the perimeter and not allowing those slot shot chances.
The play is down low now for the Flyers. They try to bring that up for the shot, and it's held down by Juicy.
Well, that's a really clever play from behind the goal. You can see these Flyers, they like to play behind the net on the power play, get the puck out to either side for those one-time chances, and kind of spread the defense out in that way to try and make the goaltender move.
Aiming to win that draw there is Anderson. Back over to the blue line there, turnover created, so it's a shorthanded opportunity now for the Rebels as they're able to throw it to the other end, forcing Kim to come out to play. Skating into the zone with speed now as they get the exit, turning it back there for the drop pass. Finding surety now on the far side as they struggle to get through the blue line, but now they do. It's Shamar Moses with it. Some nifty work there, showcasing his poise. Slap shot opportunity now, just missing wide of the net, but they keep it in play, but it's gloved down by Juicy.
Well, about halfway through this power play, both teams are going to get wholesale changes here. But it's been pretty solid from the Mississauga Rebels so far. They have kept the puck to the outside. They haven't allowed many of those slot shot chances that the Flyers have been looking for as they look to try and keep this a 2-goal game shorthanded.
The TSherna unit now for the Flyers as they look to get within one. Trying to keep that in there with Sarah Glue holding the line there, and just coming back there was Legna. Now a potential breakaway chance shorthanded. Sarah Glue not allowing that as he forces him to the outside, and it's blockered down by Kim. Back the other way on the counterattack now are the Flyers. With it there now is Lagana. Lagana will skate it around for a lap, finding Butt. Here's Butt over to Harding. Now they have their formation. Harding will find Lombardi there down low for in front, trying to get the shot on goal was Lagna, but just falling short in that play, and it goes up. And onto the other end of the ice, tired penalty killers will get the change.
And that's a crucial clear as the penalty killers were starting to run out of gas there. Now they get a chance to reset, get some fresh bodies on the ice, and try to finish off the final 30 seconds of this penalty kill.
Jimmy Lombardi will enter the zone with possession, looking for options. He'll skate it around. Doesn't like what he sees, so he sends it back to Harding. Harding there will be forced back once again by the Rebels penalty killer and Curtis Freeman.
Well, it's been a really solid penalty kill here for the Rebels, and maybe a chance for them to generate some momentum as it's been a pretty heavy Flyers-dominated period.
Lombardi will get the zone entry once again with some nifty moves, trying to keep it in play as they cut to the middle of the ice, but the Rebels will force to clear, but rather it's held down at the blue line. It's a rebound opportunity in front of the net, and they score! TSherna!
And what a time for TSherna to find the board there. He makes this a 2-1 game. It's not going to be a power play goal as the penalty had just expired, but it may as well be. 9:34 to go in this third period, and this is a 1-goal hockey game. And it was just beautiful setup there as they hold the puck in, great pressure off right on the forecheck to keep the puck in, force the play, and they get the puck to the net. Rebound comes loose for TSherna, and this is a 1-goal game just like that.
There's Michael Medopoulos gloving that down at the blue line and getting the shot on goal, creating that opportunity. And with 9:30 remaining, it's a 1-goal game. Here are the Flyers now looking to capitalize on the momentum. Sprawling down on the ice there, but held in by Pantalone. The puck is down low. Rebels able to recover it there, but forced back by the Flyers. Keeping it in play there once again is Don Mills, but the Rebels now sidestepping the defender and are able to start the rush of their own. With it there's DeChatelet. It's a 3-on-2 now. With the shot there is Moran as a rebound ensues, and he brings it back in down low. DeChatelet battling away for it there, and it's Moran coming out to help. But able to hold the blue line there was Enzi Show as they look to get it up. Trying to do a wraparound chance, and Rebels creating the turnover. Kept in play there by Mississauga now as they battle away for it down low. But the size of the Flyers coming up big in that sequence as they clear the zone. Over the red line now as the trickling puck will find the stick of Gavin Haslam. He'll send a stretch pass up the side of the boards, but icing will be called.
Well, after that goal, it's been a really solid response here from the Mississauga Rebels as they've been putting the pressure on the Flyers here, but it looks like they maybe a pair of penalties here. It looks like both teams are going to get a coincidental penalty. So it'll remain 5-on-5, but it's been good pressure here from the Rebels, bringing the game to the Flyers here after they got that goal and trying to get that 2-goal lead back in the final 9 minutes of this third period.
The Ethan-Chada line now on the ice for the Rebels. It's the Flyers there trying to capitalize in the neutral zone, though, but brought back in by the Rebels. With delayed onside, forcing them back. Chasing it after it there was Aiden Shirty. Trying to get it back there. It's forced back in by the Flyers. Kyle Secco now will have to send a stretch pass up the ice. Unable to reach any sticks of the Rebels, so icing will be called.
And if you're the Flyers, you need to take advantage of this offensive zone face-off. The Rebels have been all over them after that goal from TSherna. And for the Flyers, this is a really important sequence as they try and get back on even terms.
Able to win the face-off there as it's brought back past the blue line here. The Rebels now a 2-on-1 opportunity with the shot, and it's stopped once again by Kim, and it trickles all the way down the other end. The Flyers looking to skate after it there to keep it alive, and they do. Here is Shorty. Nonetheless, it was actually a delayed offside, so they couldn't touch the puck in that sequence. Lucky break for the Rebels.
Well, that was a really lucky break for the Rebels. Otherwise, it might have been an odd man rush for the Flyers as they try and tie this game up halfway through this third period now.
Dumping it back into the corner there along the boards now. And coming after it is Oliver Tang. Tang will try to force it out there as he intercepts the puck. Back over to the stick of Enzi Shu. And now skating it up the zone with speed there was Lombardi trying to find an option in front of the net on the far side now, holding it down. Trying to feed Lombardi in front of the net as he's forced to go down low. Holding the blue line there, the Rebels now trying to get that puck, and they use the boards to their advantage now to clear the zone. Already coming out there as it's a dump in by Enzi Shu. Forechecking after it though is Butt trying to come up with it, and they do. Here are the Flyers once again sustaining the offensive zone. Along the boards now it's brought back up to Enzi Shu as they try to get a shot on goal. Rebels doing a great job forcing them to the outside as they look to get the equalizer. Using the boards now held in by Enzi Shu once again. We saw what happened last time, but the whistle will blow the play dead.
Well, more good pressure from the Don Mills Flyers, but they're having so much trouble getting that puck in towards the middle of the ice. Great work from the Rebels defenders, keeping them to the outside, not allowing them to get high danger chances. And for the Rebels, you're happy to just keep that puck in your own zone along the outside for the rest of this hockey game.
Face-off just outside the blue line now with 6:21 remaining in this third and final frame. Puck won back, though, by the Flyers. Looking to gain the zone now, it's P.J. Fagan sending it in. All the way around the boards now. Trying to come up with it. Able to gain the zone now with the burst of speed. A potential breakaway chance now from Michael Deck being forced back. And nifty work there by Medopoulos. Setting it up the other way of the ice. With it now is Lombardi trying to cut it into the middle of the ice. Couldn't feed Butt, but Shamar Moses now with some nifty work. Back the other way, just skipping over the stick of Medopoulos. Reps now once again as they're seeing the ice open up, but the offside is called an Ethan-Chada taken down hard there by Shamar Moses. No call on the play. That was textbook interference, but it appears the play was already ongoing, so perhaps a missed call.
A huge hit there for Moses on Chada. And with time running down in this game, that's a pretty big non-call, but it looks like someone's getting taken off here for the Flyers.
It's always fun when two top players in the league go at it like that. We know that Chada and Moses will be going high in the first round of this upcoming 2023 OHL priority selection, and we're seeing the already potential rivalry begin.
And it will be a power play here for the Rebels at a really, really important time. 5:36 to go. And this will be an absolutely essential kill if the Flyers want to stay in this game.
Battling away for it there, and they come up with it are the Rebels. Back over to Haslam. Or rather, it's Turner. Turner now has it. So he has a give and go there with Delisle, but pressured back the other way. Some nifty work there along the boards, taken hard by Turner. And good work there, but it appears another penalty could be called. And perhaps we'll see some 4-on-4.
And this is going to be interference, and it's going against Mississauga. So we should get some 4-on-4 action here for about 1:40 and then 20 seconds of Don Mills power play. And a really important penalty there for the Flyers to draw, as now they can get back on offense and try and tie this game up at 4-on-4.
5:16 remain now. So we'll get 100 seconds of 4-on-4 action as the ice will open up surely in this sequence. Let's see what happens. Flyers have won the draw there along the boards now as they skated in down low. Looking for options there, being pressured along the boards by Haslam. Delisle trying to come up with it, but he can't. Open shooting lane potentially there, but being forced to hold the line and bring it back. The other way, though, was intercepted by Tissier, trying to get that through and unable to do so. Flyers back into the offensive zone, trying to send that in front. Just unable to find the lane. Slap shot from Sagan. It's loose in front of the goal as they go after it. And nonetheless, they hold the half wall there as they battle away for it. Maxime Morin now will skate it up for the Rebels. Bursting through the zone with speed. It is actually Tristan Delisle turning back now, being forced back hard by Pantalone. Coming up with the puck now. And Zishu will send a cross-seam pass now back the other way. With it, there is the defenseman, Zishu. Some nifty work there to enter the zone and wait for his trailing teammates. Into the corner there as they gain inside positioning, trying to cut to the middle of the ice and just unable to get the shot through. All the effort, but no results to show as they're forced to send it back in. Van Gelder now will try to play it up the boards there. Another turnover generated, but nonetheless the Rebels are able to clear. It's a 3-on-2 rush the other way. Far side shot there by Haslam, and it's held down by Kim.
Well, the Flyers have done a good job during this sequence of 4-on-4, getting pucks into the offensive zone and working it around there, trying to get pucks to the net. You saw that wonderful move from NG Zhou to try and get that puck set up, but they're all the way back down in their own zone now. 12 seconds left of 4-on-4 and 3:48 to go in this hockey game.
Offensive zone draw for the Rebels. One back over to Kyle Secco, sending it to the stick of Haslam. Trying to send it around the net. It's still loose in front of the goal. And luckily the Flyers were able to recover. Back the other way now is Lagana. Lagana will send it into Lombardi. Lombardi looking for options. Well, pass it over to Harding. Here's Jared Harding back over to the stick now of Locke. Now far side shot. Glove down by Juicy.
And the Flyers on the power play now for just a few more seconds as they got set up in the offensive zone and got a good lane to the net there and a good shot. But Daniel Juicy standing tall to the task here. And for the Flyers, you're going to want to get a little bit more traffic in front of this goaltender. He's made so many great saves already tonight. He's clearly feeling it. And at this point, you want to try and get pucks on net, but you want to get bodies in front too and get in the eyesight of Daniel Juicy.
Shamar Mose is back on the ice after his penalty was done, and he wins the battle there back over the Harding with a long-range shot up and out of play.
Just over 3 to go now, and you can see the desperation starting to set in for these Don Mills Flyers. Got to make sure to keep your eye for the goaltender going to the bench as well at this point in the game. It'll probably be in the next minute and a half or so when we see Josh Kim head to the bench for the extra attacker as the Flyers try and get back to even terms.
Rebels trying to force that out off the glove of Moses, and now it's a 3-on-2 rush the other way. Moran unable to hold the line now as Moses will begin the counterattack for the Flyers. Skating it in the zone with speed there. Nifty move with the shot stopped by Justy.
What a move by Shamar Moses, flying through the neutral zone. He hasn't been too visible tonight, but he was visible there. Great play and created a great chance, and he almost found his own rebound too. Justy just getting the glove on it before him. And that's a huge save at this point in the hockey game.
And that work will lead to the offensive zone draw with 2:49 remaining. Trying to win that face-off now the other way as they battle away for it along the dot. Sent back out the boards now. The Rebels will take that result, and it'll be an icing call.
Well, with just under 2:40 to go in this game, make sure to keep your eye on Josh Kim heading to the bench And with that extra attacker that they'll gain from that, they'll certainly want to put more bodies towards the front of the goal, get as many people in that lane as possible in the eyesight of Daniel Giusti as they try and just find one to beat him, or maybe find a rebound.
Trying to win that draw this time once again. Great work there by the Rebels to clear it once again, but holding the zone there is Medopoulos. As they scramble for it along the boards as it's sent down low. Trying to come up after it now. It is Chata with it, and he's able to get it up. Potential 2-on-2 rush now in favor of the Rebels. It's Michael Deck putting the shot on goal, held down by Kim.
And for Kim, that's a really important save. Obviously, they step in over the blue line there and get that shot from the circle. Kim staying square, staying confident late in this game, and he knows that every single shot needs to stay out for the rest of this game.
It'll be Ethan Chata now. They really trust him defensively in these situations, and he won that draw. Forcing the Flyers back once again is Chata now, maintaining the offensive zone. They scramble for it along there, and look at Chata once again bringing that in front of the middle there into the slot area and forcing the turnover once again. Here are the Rebels now, as it's Gola Giusti helping out his blue liner there, and they dictate the pace of play, just trying to hold on to it and possess it for as long as they can. But there we go. Now the Flyers are able to hold the zone. It gets a phone speed driving back in front of the net there. On the chance was Pantalone, but just unable to get the shot through. They have it once again now. Putting them back. It's a bouncing puck, though. And now Deck trying to come away with it. Here's Michael Deck. Forced along the boards there and is able to get it up. All the way back now with it is Cal Butt. Skating into the zone with speed. It is Butt now. Keeping it in the corner there as he has reinforcements to help him out. Rebels come up with possession. Trying to force it out of the zone once again, but they can't.
Extra man on here for the Flyers.
Josh Kim will head to the bench now to send all the way back to the other end for icing.
A minute 4 to go. 6-on-5 now for the Don Mills Flyers. And they're going to push hard to try and get this equalizing goal here. And it looks like they may call their timeout. With a minute 2 remaining. And a game where special teams have been so important. The Rebels scoring 2 goals on a double minor in the second period, and the Flyers scoring just after their first power play here in the third to make it a 2-1 game. TSherna with that goal.
So for the Flyers, Jaden, what are some of the players you want to see on the ice there, and what would you like to see them doing?
Well, I'd love to see Shamar Moses out here for this final minute of play. He had a great opportunity just a few minutes ago where he cut in through the neutral zone and got a shot off, nearly found his own rebound as well. But for the rest of the game, the Rebels have done a really good job at neutralizing him. But it feels like he's due to get a breakthrough here and try and get one into the goal with just a minute 2 to go in this third period. You need to have your best players out there. For the Don Mills Flyers, Shamar Moses is one of those players.
I'll just add for the Flyers, I think Toronto natives and Jimmy Lombardi and Jared Harding, a forward and deep man respectively, both have seen chemistry with Moses, and I think we've seen them create a lot in this game, whether it's through breakout passings or in those limited chances when they were cycling the puck in the offensive zone. Let's see if they can do it now with 62 seconds remaining. Face-off will be underway now, and coming up with it are the Rebels. The net empty now as they scramble away for it along the corner. One back, though, along the boards now as they try to hound away for it. Coming up with it now they do. Trying to send that back now. With the puck, with the shot, Enzi shoe, glove down by Giusti.
That's a big save by Giusti. The Flyers got the play they wanted there. Bodies in front, shot from the point, and Giusti, standing tall, tracks the puck so well and gets his glove on it and keeps this game in the hands of the Mississauga Rebels.
Adam Smeaton just failing to come up with that drop, but holding the line was Enzi's shoe. Taking down hard there, and the puck goes all the way to the other end, but will just miss the net as icing's called.
And now for the Rebels, you're just counting down the seconds. 34.4 remaining now in this period. And they nearly found the open net with that clear, but instead it's all the way back in their own end. And they need to win this face-off.
Goal scorer Dylan TSherna now has it, sending it back to Enzi Show. TSherna now will find Smeaton. Finding the shot there from range from Enzi Show, but holding the blue line was Medopoulos. all the way back at the other end now. Desperately looking for offense. They put it on net with the rebound, and they just missed. Oh, how did not go in by Shamar Moses? One last opportunity now as TSherna tries to bring that in front. Keeping it alive, though, down low, and it's stopped once again by Juicy.
Well, Dylan TSherna is shaking his head right now. What a beautiful opportunity. The puck slid right through the crease, and he just couldn't get a stick on it as it came right in front. And now with just 7 seconds remaining, the Flyers need a miracle.
For Jimmy Lombardi, they'll have to win this face-off in order for his team to gain possession. Just falling short, though, but they're trying to scramble away for it. Keep it in play once again. They bring it in front of the net. It's still loose, and that will do it. The Mississauga Rebels hang on for the 2-1 victory over the Don Mills Flyers.
Oh, what a battle in this game. The Flyers pushed so hard, especially towards the end of that game. You can see the dejection in their eyes. But what a game from Daniel Giusti. And in the end, it's the special teams that ends up being the difference in this game. 2 power play goals for the Rebels takes the game 2-1 here from Iceland Arena.
So obviously we saw a great display of goaltending from Josh Kim and Daniel Giusti. But looking at the skaters on both teams, give me a player of note from each side.
Well, Ethan Chada didn't manage to get on the board, but he showed why he's such a star in this league. Great skating, great playmaking. He didn't bury one again, but obviously one of the best players in this league. And on the other end, Shamar Moses wasn't the best for the first couple of periods, but he really turned it on in that third as he tried to get this game back on even terms.
And that will do it from Iceland Arena. For Jaden Ho, this is Jordan Jacklin, and you've watched GTHL Hockey in the 6. Stay tuned for the next matchup.